Dear students, myself Dr. Mallikarjun S. Biradar, Assistant Professor in Mathematics, Government First Grade College, Basava Kalyan. Now in the 41st session of Graph Theory 2, the topic is a result on chromatic number of a graph and its complement. Okay, first topic it is. One more topic is there related to the same idea. So now in this topic we are going to discuss a result which is a relationship between the chromatic number of a graph and its complement. First of all, you all know what is the complement of a graph. Complement of a graph is a graph whose vertex set is same as that of the graph G, and it is denoted by, of course, G bar. Two vertices are adjacent in G bar if and only if they are not adjacent in G. Okay, I think it is very clear. So what is the complement of a graph? A graph G, if you consider a graph G, then the complement of a graph G is the graph whose vertex set corresponds to the vertices of the graph G. Same vertex set as that of G. But two vertices are adjacent in G bar if they are not adjacent in G. For example, if you consider a complete graph, what is the complement of a complete graph? You know already, a complete graph is nothing but every pair of its vertices are adjacent. If I consider a complete graph with p number of vertices, then in a complete graph, every pair of its vertices are adjacent. Then if I ask you to find the complement of Kp, which is denoted by Kp bar, so the complement of Kp bar contains same vertex set as that of Kp. Again, the number of vertices are p number of vertices. Here, the vertices are not adjacent with each other because in a complete graph, every pair of its vertices are adjacent. So therefore, as per the definition of the complement of a graph, no two of its vertices are adjacent in Kp bar. So it implies Kp bar is a totally disconnected graph. Okay, so this is the concept which already you have studied in the 5th semester. Okay, so what is the definition of a complement of a graph? The complement of a graph G has Vg, that is the vertex set of the graph, as its vertex set. So there is no change in the vertex set of G as well as G bar. But the two vertices are adjacent in G bar. Okay, I forgot to mention the word G bar if they are not adjacent in G. Okay, so as I said, the complement of Kp. So the complement of Kp, what would be the graph? The complement of Kp contains p vertices, but none of the vertices are adjacent. It implies it is a totally disconnected graph with p vertices. Okay. Similarly, if I ask you to find out the complement of C5, okay, what is the complement of C5? So if you consider a cycle with 5 vertices, again its complement contains 5 vertices. Here 2 vertices are adjacent if they are not adjacent in C5. It implies if you find the complement of C5, again you will get the same C5. Okay, it implies the outside circle, cycle type, if you consider the vertices of same vertices, but inside you will get a cycle type. Okay, again C5, if you redraw once again, so you will get C5. It implies the complement of C5 is isomorphic. So it is called a self-complementary graph. So C5 is a self-complementary graph because C5 and its complement are isomorphic to each other. Similarly, if I ask you to find out the complement of a path with 4 vertices, okay, so again if you try by yourself, what you will come to know? The complement of the path P4, again it contains 4 vertices. So if you see, again it is similar to or isomorphic to P4 only. It implies P4 is also a self-complementary graph. A graph is said to be self-complementary if G and G bar are isomorphic. So these are the ideas which we require because the result is based on the chromatic number of a graph and its complement. So without knowing the complement of a graph, if I discuss the result, it's of no use. So for that reason, we have considered what is the complement of a graph and self-complementary graphs. Okay. Now, let us consider what is the result. For any graph G with p vertices, the sum and product of the chromatic number of G and the chromatic number of its complement G bar satisfy the inequalities. That is, 2 times square root of P is less than or equal to chromatic number of G plus chromatic number of G bar. This is one result. So that is 2 into square root of P is always less than or equal to 2 into square root of P, that is 2 times square root of P, the square root of the number of vertices, is always less than or equal to the sum of the chromatic number of G and G bar, and P is always less than or equal to the product of the chromatic number of G and G bar, that is Q is less than or equal to J of G into J of G bar. So this is the result, and this result holds for any graph with p number of vertices. Okay, so that's why the statement says for any graph G with p vertices, the sum and product of the the chromatic number of G and the chromatic number of G bar satisfies the inequalities. Okay, so therefore 2 square root of P is always less than or equal to the addition of chromatic number of G plus G bar. Similarly, the product, if you consider the product of the complement of G and G bar, chromatic number of G and G bar, so there P is always less than or equal to the product of the chromatic number of those two graphs. Okay. Now, how to prove this result? So, first we are considering a graph G be n chromatic. This we are considering. Let us consider a graph G which is n chromatic. What do you mean by n chromatic graph? It implies the chromatic number of the graph G is n. Okay, you know already what is chromatic number, the minimum number of colors required to color the graph. Okay, so that is the chromatic number of a graph. Okay, now let's see, when the graph is n chromatic, it implies the chromatic number of that graph is n. It implies we are using n colors. When we are using n colors, it implies the vertices can be partitioned into the color classes. That already we have discussed in the previous class. What we mean by a color class? Color class. Okay, so color class is nothing but amongst the vertices, those vertices which are having the same color are partitioned. Say for example, there are some vertices which are with the color blue. There are some vertices which are with color red. So like that, the vertices are partitioned as per the color which are having the same color. So when the graph G is n chromatic, it implies we are using n colors to color the vertices of the graph. It implies the vertices are with the common color. Some of the vertices are with common color. So for that reason, let V1, V2 and so on and so forth, Vn be the color classes of G. So V1, the set of vertices of the same color. V2, the set of vertices of the same color in the sense one set is with red color, another set is with blue color, like that. Okay, so this is how V1, V2 and Vn be the color classes of the graph G. Okay, where the modulus of Vi is equal to Pi. It implies the number of vertices in the set V1 is equal to P1. The number of vertices in the set V2 is equal to P2. So like that, the number of vertices in Vi is equal to Pi. Okay, then the chromatic number of graph G is n, that already we have considered. Also, the maximum of Pi is always greater than or equal to P by n. The maximum of Pi, the number of vertices in one of these sets, is always greater than or equal to P by n. Since each Vi induces a complete subgraph of G, okay, it implies the chromatic number of G bar is always greater than or equal to the maximum of Pi, which is greater than or equal to P by n. Therefore, the product of the complement of G into the complement of G bar is always greater than or equal to P, because the chromatic number of the graph G is n. Okay, so this is how we have proved the first part. Okay, let me consider, we have the chromatic number of G minus chromatic number of G bar whole square. If I find this one, it will be definitely greater than or equal to 0. It's very obvious. So using the formula a minus b whole square formula, actually it is a square plus b square minus 2ab. Okay, instead of minus 2ab, we are adding 2ab minus 4ab, one and the same. Okay, so 2ab minus 4ab is minus 2ab. So it is a minus b whole square formula type. So that we have extended. Then you can rewrite with the help of a plus b whole square formula. It is chromatic number of G plus chromatic number of G bar whole square, which is always greater than or equal to 4 times the chromatic number of G into chromatic number of G bar, which implies, if I consider this one, the chromatic number of G plus chromatic number of G bar whole square, it is always greater than or equal to 4p. Why it is p? Because the product of chromatic number of G into G bar is p. So it implies, if you consider the square root on both sides, so the equality, so the chromatic number of G plus chromatic number of G bar is always greater than or equal to 2 times the square root of p, which implies the chromatic number of G plus chromatic number of G bar is greater than or equal to 2 times square root of p. So which we have proved easily. I hope you have followed the proof. Okay, so now let me consider what we have discussed in this result. Okay, so the revision, or what we have discussed, what are the ideas in this session. So first we have considered what is the complement of a graph. That is, we have recapitulated the concept, because the result is based on chromatic number of a graph and its complement. So that's why once again we have recapitulated the concept of complement of a graph. We took some examples on complement of a graph, even self-complementary graph also we have considered. Then we got a result, which is a relation between the chromatic number of a graph and its complement. Okay, so these are the ideas which we have discussed in this session. Okay, I hope you have followed this one. So these are the references. If you want, you can refer one of the books. Of course, there are so many books on graph theory. One of the book, if you want, you can refer. It is Graph Theory by Frank Harari, Narosa Publishing House, New Delhi. So it is a very good book. Frank Harari, he himself is a graph theorist. Okay, if you want, you can refer that book. It is Indian. I think of course, though the author is a foreign author, but it has been written in the Indian way by Professor Krishnamurthy. Okay, the same book. Another book is Graph Theory by Professor V.R. Kuli. As per the Gulbarga University syllabus, if you want to refer, you can refer this book, which is also very excellent book. Another book, A First Course in Graph Theory by S.A. Chaudamma. Okay, that is Macmillan India Limited. So these are the books for your reference. With this, we conclude this session. Okay, thank you.